Strap it and fire it up. It's time to light the fuse.
It's time to light a flow. Really white like fire. Yeah. Right, rearranging, we're bringing the heat. Burning rubber and mics, got you up at your seat. Live on the track or the digital stream. We don't chase views, we chase dreams. From the dirt to the asphalt, throttle stays wide. Every lap we broadcast, it's a hell of a ride. Yeah, Facebook Live and that YouTube screen. Tune in now, it's a high octane scene. Oh, tires spinning, fans grinning. Right rear's live, and we ain't quitting. Right rear racing, we ain't playing. Start your engines, leading your time. Right rear racing, we ain't playing. Start your engines, it's show time.
Strap it and fire it up. It's time to light the fuse.
It's time to light a flow. Really white like fire. Yeah. Right, rearranging, we're bringing the heat. Burning rubber and mics, got you up at your seat. Live on the track or the digital stream. We don't chase views, we chase dreams. From the dirt to the asphalt, throttle stays wide. Every lap we broadcast, it's a hell of a ride. Yeah, Facebook Live and that YouTube screen. Tune in now, it's a high octane scene. Oh, tires spinning, fans grinning. Right rear's live, and we ain't quitting. Right rear racing, we ain't playing. Start your engines, leading your time. Right rear racing, we ain't playing. Start your engines, it's show time.
And welcome back to Right Rear Racing as we bring you the Dirt Series Promotions Fall Frenzy, week number 5 of the UMP Fall Frenzy here. It's going to be the Big Dog 100 at Kokomo, and we do apologize for the last 2 weeks of the series as we had issues and family obligations as well. But thanks for tuning in here tonight for the week number 5 of the 6-week series. As these drivers are completing their warm-up session, we have roughly about 4 minutes left of warm-up. Then we're going to go into our qualifying session. Followed by the qualifying session, we're going to do 2 heat races, and those heat races will split the field up in half, with the top 4 being inverted. And we're going to have 15 drivers make the call tonight, so all 15 will make the 100-lap main event. And after our heat races, we will have a warm-up session, a 3-minute warm-up session, right before our 100-lap main event. And to cover your top 5 in points coming into tonight, Zachary Metzner, he's going to be leading the points with 794. In second is Tyson Banks with 740. Jordan Koblenz is going to be sitting in third with 712. Brad Allman in fourth with 708, and he's going to be tied there with Josh Smith for fourth. And then we have Scott Cohn with 6:57 to round up the top 5. And a reminder that next week on the 20th we will be doing it's going to be the championship race at Charlotte. It's going to be the Fall Frenzy and the Slick Track Challenge both combined. It's going to be race number 6 of the Fall Frenzy and race number 9 of the Slick Track Challenge. And that race will not be broadcasted here on Right Rear Racing, as we do have another family obligation there on the 20th, as I have a rehearsal for the wedding. And it looks like someone lost a tire there on practice. And so far, Will Hanger in that number 19 machine, he's going to be your quick time with a 12:61. This is just for hot laps currently. With Colton Snyder in the 24, he's going to be sitting second with a 12:78. Brad Allman with a 12:82. Josh Smith with a, I'm sorry, I'm reading their last laps here. We're looking at a 12:47 for Will Hanger. Zachary Metzner in that 17 machine just got a 12:48. Colton Snyder with a 12:52. Brad Allman with a 12:54. Josh Smith with a 12:56. We also have Johnny Tucker with a 12:58. Brody Ulick with a 12:59. Tyson Banks is going to be hitting a 12:62, the same as Brandon Copenhaver. Jameson Colbridge is hitting a 12:64. And then we have Scott Coleman and Jordan Comblentz both hitting 12:66. Robert Eversole with a 12:71 and Kevin Coburn with a 12:89. We have our last minute here of our practice session. As we follow along with Jameson Colbridge in that 199, hitting the outside wall there on practice in 1 and 2. As we near the last 15 seconds of warm-up going into our 2-lap qualifier. Looks like one of the drivers did not load in, so we're going to have 14 drivers instead of the 15. So we should have seven drivers in both heat races. Again, the first heat race is going to figure out the inside line, and the second heat race is going to figure out the outside line. And Cameron Bailey is the one that has not made it here. Hopefully everything works out, man, and you're able to join the race, Cameron. And practice session is over with. We're going to go with our qualifying Brad Allman. He's going to go out there on the track first, or at least load in here. He's pulling off the pits, going to turn number 1 on his out lap. He's going to go up to the top side in 1 and 2 as he works his way down the back straightaway on the top side, entering turn number 3 on the outside there, coming down the front straightaway, getting the green flag to start his first lap. He's going to go to the high side in 1 and 2 for his first lap, bobble there just a little bit, coming down the back straightaway into turn number 3. He's going to be entering mid as he comes off turn 4. His first lap is going to be a 12:91. He's still working that high side of 1 and 2 down the back straightaway for his last time lapped here, working the bottom side in 3 and 4. And his second lap is going to be a 12:85. We have Josh Smith on his first lap, who hit a 12:78. That's going to put him at the top of the leaderboard. His second lap, you see there, he hit the outside wall, and so this second lap will not count. Tyson Banks in that 7:47, he's coming out there for his first lap, going into turn 1. Working his way down the back straightaway. He's working the mid to the bottom line of the track as he's coming off turn 4 for his first lap. And his first lap is going to be a 12:66. That's going to put him at the top of the leaderboard as he works his way down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Coming in 3, working on the bottom side, coming off 4. His second lap is going to be a 12:80, which his 12:66 still stands as the quickest time so far. Will Hanger in that 19 machine. He went out there on his first lap and got a 24.34. I don't know what happened there as he's working his way down the back straightaway into turn number 3 as he's coming off turn 4 for his second lap there. His second lap, I believe, he got a 15.47. We have one left to qualify here tonight, and that's going to be Scott Colm. And also, hopefully, Cameron Bailey will be able to make the call. And for your top 3 for quickest, or for your qualifying so far tonight, is going to be the 7:47 of Tyson Banks, the 83 of Josh Smith, the 17 of Zachary Metzner. In 4th is going to be the 57 of Brody Ulick, and running off the top 5 for qualifying is going to be Brad Allman in that number 9 machine. The 88 of Johnny Tucker is going to be 6th. Colton Snyder in the 24 is 7th with 199 of Jameson Colbridge in 8th. The 717 of Brendan Copenhaver is going to be in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is going to be the 27 of Jordan Comblentz. The 99 of Kevin Coburn is going to be 11th. Robert Eversole in the 11 machine is going to be 12th, and rounding out the ones that have made a lap here tonight, the 19 of Will Hanger finishing out in 13th. Scott Coleman in the 32 did not make a qualifying lap there, so he's going to be at the back of the field. And we have heat race number 1 taking the lineup now. And starting on the pole is going to be the 24 of Colton Snyder. On his outside is going to be the number 9 of Brad Allman. Inside row number 2 has Zachary Metzner in the 17 with Tyson Banks in the 747 on his outside. Row 3 has Brendan Copenhaver in that 717 with Kevin Coburn on his outside in the 99. And rounding out the field for heat race number 1 is going to be Will Hanger in the 19 machine. And Cameron Bailey, sorry about that, man. You tried. Hopefully next week you make it next week with everything being updated next week, man. And they're receiving the rolled up green flag. We're going to go underway next time around. The field is going to be led by Colton Snyder and Brad Allman as they go coming to turn 1 there, coming off turn 2 now down the back straightaway. The field is racked and stacked and ready to go here. Going into turn number 3, the pace truck has pulled off as they're waiting to come off turn 4 to get the green flag. And they're coming off for the green flags waved, and we're underway here for your Fall Frenzy Dirt Big Dog 100. Here comes the 17 of Zach Metzner. He's going to look on the inside. We're going to be side by side, maybe 3 wide here going into turn number 3. That's going to be the 9, the 24, and the 17 as they work their way through 3 and 4. Coming off 4, it's going to be the 17 of Zachary Metzner leading the way. Getting that bottom side going. Brad Allman up there on the high side. He's going to maintain his second position, running side by side with Colton Snyder. Snyder's going to run down low and trying to get the second position away from Brad Allman. As we go into turn number 1, it's going to be Zachary Metzner in that 17 machine, working that bottom side, maintaining the lead. Colton Snyder in second momentarily with Brad Allman on his outside in third. As they work their way off turn number 4 here, down this front straightaway into turn number 1. Colton Snyder still running that mid to bottom line as Brad Allman's working the outside. He's going to get momentum on the back straightaway going into turn number 3. As they come off turn number 4, they're getting the cross flags as we're halfway through with heat race number 1. Brad Allman's still up there on the top side with Colton Snyder on the bottom. This is your battle for second on the screen, and we have a caution coming out in your heat race here tonight. As we go take a look at what happened here, we're following along with Will Hanger in that 19 machine. Here comes the 747 of Tyson Banks. Hits the left rear of Will Hanger just a little bit. Gets them loose there going on turn number 3. As they come off forward, they're going to collect once again. And right here is where they both took each other out and caused the caution flag as they both roll over simultaneously. And the pace truck did pull off, so it's going to be Zachary Metzner in that 17 machine, Colton Snyder, and Brad Allman for your top 3 as they get their green flag. They're underway again for heat race number 1. Brad Allman's going to go to the high side. Colton Snyder down low as they work their way through 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. It's going to be Brandon Copenhaver in that 3 machine. He's going to look on the inside, try to get the 3rd position away from Brad Allman as they work their way down the front straightaway, getting the popsicle sticks as we have 2 laps remaining here tonight in heat race number 1. Brad Allman's trying to hold on to his 3rd position as they go into turn number 3. The 717 of Brandon Copenhaver is going to be right there. We're on our white flag here. Here comes the Brandon Copenhaver once again as they work their way through 1 and 2, working their way into turn 3. Brad's going to be up high. Brandon's going to be down low. It's going to be Zachary Metzner taking the win for heat race number 1, followed by Colton Snyder in the 24 and the 9 of Brad Allman. We'll round out your top 3. We have Brandon Copenhaver in that 717 in 4th, and rounding out the top 5 is going to be the 99 of Kevin Coburn. Rest of the field was going to be Will Hanger in the 19 with Tyson Banks rounding out the field. Heat race number 2 is on the lineup now with Jamison Coolbridge in the 199. He's going to start on the pole with the 88 on his outside. That's going to be Johnny Tucker. Road number 2, let me get to your drivers here real quick. With row number 2 having Brody Ulick in the 57 on the inside, Josh Smith in the 83 on the outside. Row 3 has Jordan Koblenz in the 27 on the inside with Robert Eversole on the outside in that number 11 machine. And rounding out the field for heat race number 2 is going to be Scott Colm in the 32. I received the road up green flag. We're going to go underway next time around, as the 199 and the 88 will lead the field. As they come off turn number 2 here, the pace truck's going to dive onto the infield as they work their way down the back straightaway into turn number 3. They're waiting for that green flag to drop here to get us back underway here in heat race number 2. As the green flag is underway here, the 199 of Jameson Coolbridge is going to get that bottom side going. Here comes the 57 of Brody Ulick. Brody's going to get a good run off of 2. As he goes into turn number 3, he's going to maintain that bottom side and lead lap number 1 here for heat race number 2 with the 199 of Jameson Coolbridge right there running that mid line through 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Coming into 3, Brody's going to slide up just a little bit. Here comes the 199 trying to do a crossover, and at the line it's going to be Jameson Coolbridge getting the lead there. And here comes the 27. That's going to be Jordan Koblenz in that 27 machine. We're going to go look to make it 3 wide for the lead, and right behind them they're going to go 3 wide. That's the 32, the 21, and the 83. And we have the 199 and the 27 battling it out here with the 57 on the outside. We're 3 wide going down the back straightaway into turn number 3. This is heat race action in heat race number 2. They're 3 wide right behind the top 3 as well. And at the line it's going to be Brody Ulick in the 57 machine as Jordan Koblenz is trying to get that bottom side going. They're going to be side by side. We're going to have a caution flag waved here, as there were 3 by 3 there for your top 6. Robert Eversoles, who we're going to go on board with as we work our way into turn number 3 here. You see right there in front of Robert how the top 3 were 3 by 3 or 3 wide, and the 4th, 5th, and 6th were 3 wide. And as we go into turn number 1 here, the 21 and the 83 made a little bit of contact, and Josh comes down and hits the 11 machine on his right front. And the pace truck's going to dive off, and we're going to finish our 4 laps here with Brody Ulick, Jameson Coolbridge, and Jordan Koblenz for your top 3, as Brody's going to hit that loud pedal and get us back underway, going down in the front straightaway. He's going to take the high side in turn 1, followed by Jameson Coolbridge up there as well. Here comes Jordan Koblenz working the bottom side, where he's going to try to take over second away from Jameson as they go into turn number 3. Coming off turn 4, it's going to be Jameson at the line with the popsicle sticks out. We have 2 laps remaining, and coming down the back straightaway, it's going to be Jordan Koblenz maintaining the second position. He's trying to throw a slide job. We got the white flag waved out to these drivers now, as Brody's going to run the high side there in 1 and 2. Here comes Jordan Koblenz working his way down on the bottom side, down the back straightaway. Going in turn number 3 here, Brody's going to try to maintain that middle line. He's going to take the checkered flag and the win here tonight for heat race number 2, followed by Jordan Koblenz and that 27 machine in second, and Jameson Coolbridge in the 199. We'll round out your top 3. And we have a 2-minute warm-up session here to roll in the track to get it to where the drivers want it to finish out the results for heat race number 2. That's going to be Scott Colm in the 32, finishing 4th. Josh Smith in the 83 rounds out your top 5. Robert Eversole in the 11 machine, he's going to finish 6th. And Johnny Tucker in the 88 machine will round out the field for heat race number 2. And trying to find a good angle here for us for the feature, as we can do. As that one kind of looks a little bit too far away. Again, we're going to have 100 laps here tonight for your Big Dog 100 with Dirt Series Promotions Fall Frenzy Week number 5. And next week on Thursday, November 20th, it's going to be race number 6 and race number 6 of the Fall Frenzy, plus the Slick Track Challenge, race number 9, all combined, and that's going to be at Charlotte. And as for Right Rear Racing, we will be live once again tomorrow to cover the 2 Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions Sport Compact Series, and then that's going to be week number 2 for them. And then on Sunday, we're going to cover the Battle of the Bluegrass season opener. Again, all those races, I believe, are at 8 p.m. Eastern or Central Standard Time. And we will not be broadcasting next week, as I do have a wedding next week. And looking at the track, it looks like we're going to have a racy track here tonight. Anyone in that heat race, you've seen them, we're running 3 wide there, so that everyone can put their cars anywhere and make it racy here tonight. As you see, the 83 of Josh Smith gets into the outside wall there during the warm-up session. And he's going to be right there whenever Brad and Johnny both come around. And the checkered flag will be waved here for our warm-up session. We're getting ready for our 100-lap main event here for your Big Dog 100 at Kokomo. And your starting lineup for tonight's main event is going to look like this, with the 17 of Zachary Messner on the pole and Brody Ulick in the 57 on his outside. Row number 2 has Colton Snyder in the 24 on the inside, with Jordan Blintz in the 27 on the outside of row number 2. Row 3 has the number 9 of Brad Allman on the inside, with Jameson Coolbridge in the 199 on his outside. Row 4 has Brandon Copenhaver in the 717 on the inside, with Scott Colm in the 32 on the outside there. And row number 5 has Kevin Coburn in the 99 on the inside, with Josh Smith in the 83 on the outside there. Row number 6 has Will Hanger in the 19 on the inside, with Robert Eversole in the 11 on the inside or outside there. And rounding out the field for your last and final row, row number 7 has the 747 of Tyson Banks on the inside, with Johnny Tucker in the 88 on his outside. Again, we have 14 drivers making the call, making the field here tonight, as Cameron Bailey did not get his update done and to be able to join in quick enough. And as they come off turn 4, they're getting the rolled up green flag. We should be underway next time around. The field is going to be led by Zachary Metzner in that 17 machine with the 57 of Brody Ulick on the outside. Again, with the Dirt Series, we do have 5 chances of the Delaware double file restart. After that, we will go to a single file. And under 10, we will do single file. As they come off turn 4, we're getting the green flag. The 57 of Brody Ulick, he's going to get a good jump there on the start. But here comes the 17 of Zachary Metzner. He's going to get that bottom side rolling. As they come off turn 2, the 17 of Zachary Metzner is going to be in the lead. The 57 of Brody Ulick, he's going to hit the outside wall there. That's going to allow the 24, the 9, and the 27 be right there and battle it out for third now. As the 24 of Colton Snyder's moved up into the second position, right behind Zachary Metzner in that 17 machine. Now Brody Ulick in that 57 machine is trying to reel in Colton Snyder, make a pass, but he's going to come down, and Brad Allman was right there as well, a little bit of contact. But here comes the 27 of Jordan Koblenz. He's going to run that midline there, try to make that momentum there, make the pass on Brody Ulick. As Brody's running down low, the 32 of Scott Combs is going to run out your top 5. And on your screen, we have your second, third, fourth, and fifth place drivers on the screen as we have a battle for third brewing between Jordan Koblenz, Scott Combs, and Brody Ulick. As Brody Ulick has moved back to the 5th position, the 27 of Jordan Koblenz, he's getting the outside going. We're 3 wide as they work their way down the front straightaway. The 27 of Jordan Koblenz, he's going to maintain the 3rd position. But here comes the 32 of Scott Combs as they work their way down into turn number 3. As they come off turn number 4, it's still side by side. The 27 of Jordan Koblenz, he's going to maintain your 3rd position. But here comes Scott Combs in turn 1. He's looking down low. Down the back straightaway, they're side by side once again. Coming in turn number 3, the 27 machine's running the middle line. The 32 is running a little bit lower. It's still going to be the 27 of Jordan Koblenz maintaining the 3rd position. But here comes Brody Ulick. He's trying to join up in this race here. And right behind these 3, we have Brad Allman and Josh Smith as they're coming up there as well. And Brody, he's going to get a little bit sideways there. The 27 of Jordan Koblenz got a little bit sideways, and that's going to allow Brad Allman to get into that 3rd position. Brody Ulick to move up into 4th, and Josh Smith in the 83 to move up into 5th. Scott Combs is in 6th, and Jordan Koblenz has moved back to the 7th position. We have one going around there in the infield as we work our way back to the front. I don't know who it was. That was your 717 of Brandon Copenhaver. Looks like he's made his way back into the pits. Zachary Metzner is still in the lead into that 17 machine, followed by Colton Snyder in the 24. Brad Allman in that 9A. He's going to be in 3rd, followed by Brody Ulick in the 57 for 4th, with Josh Smith rounding out your top 5 in that 83 machine. As we are at the line, it's going to be 12 laps down, as Zachary Metzner is now 12 laps down into this 100-lap event. And now you see Brody there trying to get that bottom side going off turn 4 down the front straightaway. As Brad goes to pushing to the top side, he's getting that momentum coming off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Entering turn number 3 is still going to be Brad Allman in that 9A, followed by the 57 and Brody Ulick. As Brad's pushing there in 1 and 2, here comes the 57. Brad has a little bit more of a hole shot there coming off turn 2. Here comes the 57 looking down low with the 83 of Josh Smith right there as well. Again, on your screen is going to be your battle for 3rd between the 9 and the 57 as they work their way through 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway down into turn number 3. And as they go in turn number 1, it's still Brad Allman in that 9A maintaining the 3rd position. Into turn number 3 now. And coming off turn 4. They're slowly reeling in Colton Snyder in that 24 machine right there in front of them. And right in front of Colton is going to be your leader of Zachary Metzner. And Colton has reeled in Zach, and then he's going to bobble there in 1 and 2. That's going to allow Brad Allman to just close that door just a little bit as they work their way into turn number 3. Here comes Josh Smith. He's looking down low. He's going to try to get into that 4th position as we have your top 5 right here close together on your screen. as we're switching back and forth. Brody Ulick's going to look down low in turn 3 and 4. He's going to try to throw a slide job as Brad Allman got us crossed up there in 3 and 4. It's still going to be Brad Allman in that 9A, maintaining the 3rd position. Here comes Josh Smith in the 83 machine. He's going to... thought he's going to try to throw a slide job there in 3 and 4 as the 9A maintains his 3rd position. Brody in that 57 is in 4th, with Josh Smith right there in the 83 in 5th. As they work their way down the back straightaway into turn number 3, Josh is going to go down low in 3 and 4, and here comes the 57. He's going to be right there as well. They're going to be side by side for position number 3 going into turn 1. The 57 thought about throwing a slide job, but gave room to the 9A of Brad Allman as they work their way down the back straightaway into turn number 3. It's still going to be the 9A of Brad Allman maintaining the 3rd position, with Brody and Josh in 4th and 5th respectively. The 57 is going to be in the outside wall coming off turn 2. Going down the back straightaway, Josh is right there, kind of diamonding off turn 3 and 4 there. As next time around, we will be a quarter way done in your 100 lap event. Go back up to the front here. Zachary Metzner in the 17 machine just completed lap number 25 with Colton Snyder right there in 2nd. Brad Allman currently in 3rd, holding off Brody Ulick in that 57 machine in 4th, and Josh Smith in the 83 rounds out your top 5 as they go in. Going to turn 1. Here comes a slide job from Brody. He's not going to clear it and give room to the 9A. Here comes the 83 of Josh Smith. Josh made a little bit of contact and hits that outside wall there coming off turn 2. That's not going to hurt him too much as he's working his way through 3 and 4 down the front straightaway into turn 1 now. Josh is going to be down low in 1 and 2. Try to get that momentum and make that pass on Brody Ulick. As we watch Josh here making the bottom side. Here comes Brody trying to diamond off turn 3 and 4. Brad Allman still right there in front of Brody as they work their way off 2 down the back straightaway into 3. Brody's going to give him a slight bump back there. We're going to be side by side off of turn 4. Here comes that slide job there. Did not push it up all the way and gave room to Brad Allman once again. As Brad is slowly reeled in Colton Snyder there in that 24 machine, trying to hold off the 57 of Brody Ulick as they work their way down into turn number 3 here. Brody Ulick's going to try to diamond off, and at the line it's still going to be Brad. Here comes the 57. He's going to look down low in 1 and 2, try to get something there on the bottom. Coming off turn 2, we're going to be side by side battle for 3rd as Brad has that high side there off of 2. He has momentum, but coming off turn 4, it's still going to be Brad Allman in that 9A maintaining the 3rd position. The 57 of Brody Ulick, he's working the bottom side once again in 1 and 2. Now he's going to go up high going in turn number 3. 3 and 4, Brody worked the high side. Now he's coming to the high side once again in 1 and 2 as we follow along with Colton Snyder. Now once again he's sitting in 2nd, and Zachary Metzner in the 17 is your current leader, and he's led it since the drop of the green. And out of your top 5 right here has been battled the whole race so far for our 36 laps that we've had down. That's going to be Brad Allman in that 9A and the 57 of Brody Ulick, as this is a battle for 3rd on your screen once again. We're going to go back through the field as Josh Smith in that 83. He's currently in 5th. Jordan Complentz, he's made his way back up into the 6th position after falling back a few after getting into that early accident, followed by Scott Coleman in that 32 machine, Johnny Tucker in the 88, Will Hanger in the 19 is going to be in 9th, and Jamison Colbridge in the 199 is going to round out your top 10. Now Brad has a little bit of breathing room from the 57 of Brody Ulick as they work their way through 1 and 2 down the back straightaway into turn number 3. As soon as I say that, here comes Brody trying to get the outside going, but here comes Brad looking down low, trying to battle with Colton Snyder for that 2nd position. He's going to throw a slide job there in 1 and 2, take over your 2nd position, and the 24 of Colton Snyder's coming back as they come down the back straightaway. Brad Allman's up high, Colton's down low, coming off turn 4. It's going to be Brad Allman, that 9A, taking over your 2nd position. Here comes the 24, once again trying to get the bottom side going in 1 and 2. Brad has something there on the outside, gets that momentum coming off turn 2. Here, trying to battle it out into that third position over the 24 of Colton Snyder. And at the line, give it to Brody in that 57 as they work their way through 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Brad Allman is going to try to reel in Zachary Metzner, but hold off Brody Ulick in that 57 machine as well. Coming down into 1, we're going to have a little bit of contact between the 57 and the 9. Coming off 2, the 9-8 of Brad Allman is going to maintain your second position. And Brody Ulick right there in that 57 machine. Here comes Colton Snyder once again on that bottom side. He's in 4th, currently trying to make that bottom work in 3 and 4 to make that pass on Brody Ulick. And we have Zachary Metzner in lap traffic with the 11 of Robert Eversole being your first car going a lap down. And Brad Allman still in second. He's moved up 3 spots with Brody Ulick in that 57 be in 3rd. Colton Snyder in the 24 is in 4th. And Josh Smith in the 83 rounds out your top 5. And right behind Josh is going to be Jordan Kumblitz in that 27 machine sitting 6th. We're going to go back up to Ulick and Allman, as Allman's going to hit the wall there in 1 and 2, going down to the back straightaway into turn number 3. Allman's come down to the bottom mid of the track there in 3 and 4. Here comes Ulick. He's looking to throw a slide job on Allman. Allman's going to cross him over and maintain your second position as Allman goes down low in 3 and 4. Ulick's going to be up high coming off turn 4. Give it to Allman at the line. Allman's going to maintain that bottom side, try to throw a slide job on Ulick to get the second position back, and the 57 of Ulick's going to take your second position and get the high side going, and off of 2 down the back straightaway. But Allman's still going to be right there, and at the line, it's Brody Ulick in the 57 machine, getting that second position away from Brad, as Brad's going to start trying to reel in Brody once again, as we are now halfway through with your Big Dog 100 here for your Fall Frenzy week number 5 at Kokomo. And Zachary Metzner in that 17 machine is looking to put Jameson Colbridge in that 199 a lap down, as Zachary's going to work outside there in 1 and 2, going in turn number 3 with the 199 of Colbridge working the bottom side. Again, the 199 is a lap car there as they go in turn number 1. Brody Ulick is still in 2nd. Brad Allman in 3rd. In 4th, we have Josh Smith and Lentz right there. Top 5. Lentz in that 27 machine is right there on Josh as they work their way through 3 and 4. Coming in turn number 1, Jordan's going to look down low. Josh is going to get in the outside wall as they come off turn 2. We're going to be side by side. This is a battle for 4th on your screen between the 83 and the 27. Going into turn number 3, the 24 got a little bit tight there and pushed up, going into Josh and gave way once again. Josh is in the outside wall once again in 1 and 2. Here comes the 27 of Jordan looking down low in turn number 3. As they work their way off turn number 4, it's going to be Josh Smith still maintaining the 4th position, but Jordan's going to be right there, as well as Colton Snyder. And Jordan's trying to get the outside going there in 3 and 4, going to turn number 1. And Colton Snyder is going to be right there. And we're going to go back up to your 3rd place runner of Brad Allman in that 9A. In 2nd is going to be Brody Ulick in the 57, and currently your leader, who has 1.5 seconds on Brody, that's going to be Zachary Metzner in the 17. And we have 40 laps remaining here as 60 are down. As Brody's trying to reel in Zachary there. Brad's still in 2nd, trying to reel in the 199 of Jameson to put him a lap down and get a little bit of breather there away from the 83 of Josh Smith, with Jordan Kumblitz right there in rounding out your top 5 in that number 27 machine. As they work their way into turn number 3, Jordan's going to hit the outside wall. That's going to allow Colton to close the door just a little bit and Josh to get a little bit more breathing room. And everyone's kind of spaced out here. Will Hanger and Tyson Banks are both in 7th and 8th as they're trying to make their way through the field. In 9th is going to be Scott Combe in the 32. What's up, man? We have Johnny Tucker in the 88 rounding out your top 10, and we have the 199 of Jamison Colbridge rounding out the field as the other 3 drivers have pulled off and called it a night. And Zachary Metzner in that 17 machine is looking to put the 21 the lap down as he's working his way down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Again, Zachary's led it since the drop of the green. And the 21 car is a lap down. That's going to be your 88 of Johnny Tucker on the scoring loop there, and right in front of him is going to be Scott Combe in that 32 machine as Metzner's going to work the outside there, diamond off turn 3 and 4. He's going to work the bottom side going to turn number 1, trying to put Scott Combe in a lap down. That's going to be 8 drivers now on the lead lap. I'm going to go back through here. The 57 of Brody Ulick is currently still 2nd. Brad Almond in 3rd. Josh Smith still holding on to the 4th. And Jordan Comblentz in 5th, with Colton Snyder in 6th, with a lap car between Colton and Jordan. And everyone's kind of spaced out here except for your 7th and 8th place runners. That's going to be Will Hanger and Tyson Banks, as Will Hanger's going to work the outside there and Tyson's going to work the bottom as they work their way down the front straightaway into turn number 1. You see them both right here on your screen. That's going to be the 19 of Will Hanger working the outside, the 747 of Tyson Banks down low. Here comes Tyson Banks up high in turn number 3 and 4. And Tyson's going to diamond off 1 and 2 there and work the middle there in 3 and 4. And James, how you doing over there with MDI TV? And we're going to go back through it again. Zachary Metzner has a 2-second gap on Brody Ulick in that 57 machine, as it looks like we do have a lap car in between the two. You kind of see the distance there between the 57 and the 17. As the 17 is going to turn number 1, and the 57 is about a half a straightaway to the straightaway back. Brad Almond in that 9 machine is going to be in 3rd. Josh Smith in the 83 is going to be in 4th. And Jordan Comblentz rounds out your top 5. And it's been the Zachary Metzner show since the drop of the green. Again, you see it from the spaced out view here, how far everyone's spaced out throughout the track here at Kokomo. Again, we have Will Hanger and Tyson Banks both running 7th and 8th respectively, and trying to put down the 199 of Jamison Coolbridge, as we have 20 laps here remaining at Kokomo for your Big Dog 100. Zachary Metzner just across the line, trying to reel in Tyson Banks and Will Hanger to put them a lap down. And we see Brad Almond here fighting with Scott Combe, a lap traffic, as they work their way through 1 and 2, now down the back straightaway into turn number 3. As they come off turn 4, Brad's going to work that bottom side, try to get momentum going into turn number 1 to make the clean pass on the 32 of Scott Combe. and they're still side by side again. Scott Coleman, that 32 machine, is lap traffic. Brad Almond will be in third, with Josh Smith in fourth, and Jordan Complence right there in that 27 machine rounds out your top 5 as Jordan's trying to reel in Josh as they work their way down the front straightaway into turn number 1. As they come down the back straightaway, Josh is going to maintain the high side there. Jordan's coming down just a little bit. Coming off of turn 4, it's still going to be Josh at the line. And everyone's spaced out here, so we're trying to find the racing where everyone's getting close at here. As both Josh and Jordan catch up to Scott Coleman, that 32 car, as they're both racing for position number 4, with lap traffic right there going in turn number 3. Going to be side by side with lap traffic. That's going to be Jordan Complence and Scott as they work their way through turn 3 and 4. Going to turn 1, Josh is going to be right there. Here comes the 27 machine looking down low. As they go into turn number 3, Jordan's going to throw that bumper up there and show his nose to Josh as they work their way down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Jordan's going to try to throw a slide job, allow room for Josh on the outside of the 83 machine. We're in our final laps here tonight. Did not realize that we are now 7 laps remaining. Jordan knows this go time here. Again, battle on your screen is for 4th between Josh and Jordan as they work their way into turn number 3. The 27 machine is going to look down low. The 83 is up high just a little bit as they're both right there running almost identical lines. Going into turn 1, both of them's running the outside line, working their way down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Josh is going to be up high with Jordan right there in the same line. And now Jordan's going to go down low in turn 1 and 2, give room to Josh up top, and Josh is going to try to keep him off the wall and get that momentum coming off turn 2. At the stripe, it's going to be Zachary Messner getting the 5 fingers as we have 5 laps remaining here in your Big Dog 100. The 27, Jordan Complence, he's trying to stay off of Josh Smith in the 83 machine as they work their way through 1 and 2. Now they're in turn 3. And we're going to go back up to Zachary Metzner as there are 3 laps remaining here tonight with Zachary Metzner leading since the drop of the green. He has a 2-second gap on Brad Almond now. I didn't realize that we had a battle here for second between Brad Almond and Brody Ulick. And Ulick and Almond's going to get into it there coming off turn 4 at the flag stand. We got the popsicle sticks as we have 2 laps remaining. Brody's going to throw a slide job. Here comes the crossover from Brad Almond as they work their way down the back straightaway. Brad's going to slide up top. Here comes the 57 looking down low. As they come off turn 4, getting the white flag for your Big Dog 100. It's going to be Brad Almond in second position. Zachary Metzner has a clear lead here and going to look to take the win here. Brody Ulick's looking down low into turn number 3. As they come off turn 4, for second, it's going to be Brad Almond in that 9A. In third, it's going to be Brody Ulick. Again, Zachary Metzner in that 17 machine is going to take the win here tonight. And to round out your top 5, again, we're going to hear from your top 3 here momentarily. Zachary Metzner is going to take the win in that 17 machine. Brad Almond in the 9 is going to finish in second. Brody Ulick in the 57 rounds out your top 3. The 83 of Josh Smith is in 4th. And Jordan Complence in that 27 machine rounds out your top 5. Colton Snyder in the 24 is 6th. Tyson Banks in the 747 finishes 7th. And Will Hanger in the 19 finishes 8th. Scott Coleman in the 32 finishes 9th. And rounding out your top 10, we have Jamison Colbridge in the 199. Johnny Tucker in the 88 is going to be at 11th. Robert Eversole is going to be 12th. Kevin Coburn 13th. And Brandon Copenhaver in 14th. And again, we're going to hear from your top 3 finishers here tonight. We're waiting for Brody and Zachary as well. And we have your second place finisher of Brad Almond already waiting, so we're going to hear from him first. And Brad, do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
And hopefully our viewers hear us as well. Man, you and Brody put on one hell of a show, basically since the drop of the green. It looked like you kind of fell off there, kind of saved some tire, then there at the last 10 laps, you were right there throwing slide jobs back and forth. Way to put on a good show there.
Yeah, he was pushing hard, and I wasn't really wanting to, but I kind of liked where I was at, so just had to keep going. And if he'd have threw a slider on me early, I'd have let him go and let him burn his stuff up. But he stayed back there for a bit and then did it, and I let him go, and I started coming on late. Honestly, I thought I had a chance to get up there and race with Zach, and then we made contact. So, but it was a good race. It was fun. Wore me out. I ain't done 100 laps like that in a while, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, 100 laps with no cautions. That's, even though it's a small track like Kokomo, that's still tiresome.
Yeah, and I mean, there's tires to hit, there's walls to hit, there's other people to hit, and we're doing it, but we survived it.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on not hitting the wall too much there, because I know how hard it is to stay off that outside wall here at Kokomo, especially with these cars here.
Absolutely.
And to kind of go over the whole 100 laps, especially with no cautions, I didn't see that coming. I don't know if you did either with the no cautions tonight, but did that kind of change up your game plan coming in to the late part of the race here?
I mean, I really didn't have a game plan, so not really. I don't bank on 100 laps caution free. I mean, you know, even the good guys wreck too, so it just happens. And I don't ever bank on it, but once you get to about 40-50 laps and they're in a caution and everybody's spread out real good, you better be ready to go, because it's probably not going to happen.
Yes, sir, and that's what kind of happened tonight with everyone getting spaced out and running a clean race throughout the whole night. And I know I'm doing it kind of out of order tonight for the broadcast, but with you coming home in second, you're the first one to come in here to do the broadcast. Want to make sure the viewers are aware of that one. But do you have any friends, family, or sponsors you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, thanks to All Out Graphics first. Cody Connor, he makes the wraps. He's done a lot for us in the league in the past. He hasn't been racing this year. He's got a baby, and he's taking care of the home life a little bit. So, but thanks to him first. Finish First Designs, Butt Kicker, you at Right Rear Racing. Thanks for doing the broadcast tonight. It's good to get on the broadcast when you do good. Dirt Series, Josh, for running the league. Hopefully we get a good turnout again next week. And congrats to Zach. He ran a perfect race, and a lot of fun with Brody, and he ran a good race to get second, or third, and congrats to both of them.
Yes, sir, and hopefully you finish strong at Charlotte next week for the championship week.
That's the plan.
And we'll catch you then. We'll see you the next time that I do the broadcast, man. And there you have it, your second place finisher of Brad Almond. And up next, we're going to hear from Brody Ulick, who finished third tonight. And Brody, do you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Man, just like I kind of talked to Brad earlier, you and Brad put on one hell of a show, basically for the whole 100 laps here tonight. Um, Late in that race, did it seem like you found something on the bottom to try to make that pass on Brad again? Where was the track condition like down there on the bottom, as we couldn't really see it too well?
Pretty slick down there, but I knew, my tire was gone. He obviously saved his tires way better than me, and he was just flying on the top. And I had to try something, but it was super slick down there. I couldn't make it work.
And I will say that I've seen a lot of respect out there between both you and Brad. Try to throw a slide job a few times, and knowing that you weren't going to clear him, you kind of let off and let him get that high side and maintain his line there.
Yeah, it's just a respect thing. We got 100 laps. I wasn't trying to junk him in the first, 10 whenever we were battling, or even the 99th. But yeah, it was just a respect thing. We were running good all night. I think we were even racing pretty good in the heat too.
I, with us having 100 laps here tonight, caution free for the main event, I couldn't tell what happened in the heat races, but I mean, like I said, you and Brad put on one hell of a show. Y'all were battling out there for sitting in third and fourth with whenever Colton was right there in front of y'all. Y'all were still throwing haymakers, so not true haymakers, but racing side by side, giving each other room and racing hard, I should say, in that way. And
Yeah.
Or go ahead, man.
Yeah, we were racing pretty good. I wanted to get around him, sooner than I could, but I just couldn't seem to get a run.
And once you did finally get around Brad, did you think that you had something there for Zach? I know that he kind of seemed like he kind of walked away with it, leading all 100 laps here tonight.
Yeah, I thought I had maybe a little something for him. I started reeling him in, but then I figured there'd be a caution within the 100 laps, so I was still saving my tire. But if I would have known there wouldn't have been cautions, I would have been a little harder on the gas and maybe had a chance at it.
Hey, either way, with the Dirt Series here getting a podium win or podium victory, that's still a feat in itself. So congratulations on finishing third here tonight. And do you have any friends, family, or sponsors you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, thank you. Cyrix Academy, Cyrix Booger Inc., Rebel Windshield, J-Dubs Engagement, HBM, um, Daycare Kids, KRE, and UV Blue Crew.
Yes, sir. And we couldn't do it without our sponsors, so those are always make sure that we do that. Let the drivers give their sponsors out there. Again, congratulations on your third place finish here tonight, and hopefully we catch you again on a Right Rear Racing broadcast in the podium.
Yeah, for sure. I hope to be back next week for the slick track.
Yes, sir. And I wish that I could be able to broadcast that one. That was going to be a fun race there at Charlotte. So,
Yeah, congrats on your marriage, man.
yep, thanks, man. You have a good night, Brody.
You too.
And there you have it, your third place finisher of Brody in that 57 machine. Now we're going to hear from your winner, Zachary Metzner. And Zach, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, you let it green. Looked like you're just running the bottom side for the majority of that race and kind of maintaining the tire. Am I correct on that one?
Yeah, I was just kind of chilling on the middle bottom for the first, I think, probably third of the race, as I was expecting there to be a caution early on or just at some point, but there wasn't. So I think around the 30, 40-ish mark is when I just said, screw it, I'm gonna move up and just go, and just to create some space, and I was able to do that. So it worked out pretty well, I think.
And it looked like you're smooth for the parts that I did catch, because you kind of walked away from the field there, like you said, whenever you started hammering it and going to the top side. And I mean, just kind of walked away and were smooth the rest of the whole race.
Yeah, I mean, that was the goal, obviously, to stay smooth because I know Kokomo can get a little tricky, especially, when the track comes mostly topside dominant, so my goal was to just stay smooth, try and stay, not just absolutely door the wall with my door right front, and that's what I was able to do, and it ended up working, so can't complain.
And whenever you came up on lap, uh, they seemed to race you there for a few laps. Were you kind of worried coming up on lap traffic with Brad or Brody closing the gap on you?
Um, not necessarily. I knew that I had a good gap between them, so I knew that I would really have to mess up or get stuck behind a car for at least, like, 5 plus laps, and after a couple of, laps of just um, staying behind them and not, like, pushing it, I just said, "Screw it, I'm just gonna pull a slider and just go," and it worked, so, like I said, I mean, everything worked out pretty well, and I'm happy to get another win here.
Yes, sir. And do you have any friends, family, or sponsors you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Sure thing. I got, Midwest Sim Sports, Majula Say Speed Shop, KRE, UV Blue Crew, my wonderful girlfriend, and, um, yeah, that's all I got, sir. And also too, Dirt Series are putting on, the race.
Yes, sir. And I believe you're in the points lead coming into tonight as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, I think that honestly should have locked up points for me, but I won't know until obviously we get closer or until he puts out the new points, but I'm pretty confident that this might have locked up points for me, so, um, if so, then I'm happy to see that as well.
I believe all you have to do next week is show up to Charlotte. And again, good luck to you next week at Charlotte. Hopefully you come back, walk off with a win there, and close out the deal for the Fall Frenzy Championship. And like I said earlier during the driver's meeting, we will not be there for the broadcast.
Gotcha. Well, no worries. I appreciate you broadcasting when you can, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. You have a good night, brother.
Yes, you too, sir. And there you have it, your top 3 finishers of tonight's event. And that's going to conclude our broadcast tonight with your Fall Frenzy week number 5, the Big Dog 100 here at Kokomo. Again, next week on Thursday, November 20th, will be the championship at Charlotte. If you're interested in running in any of your Dirt Series promotions races, contact them at dirt-series.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we will be live once again tomorrow with 2 Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions to cover the Sport Compact Series as that series goes to the Lucas Oil in Indianapolis Raceway. And we will see you tomorrow night. Thank you for joining in tonight. Have a good night.
Checkered flag flying, it's the end of the show. From dirt to the blacktop, we let it all go. Burning rubber, slamming gears, making hearts race. If you miss the heat, catch the highlight, press play. Right rear, racing lights out, that's a wrap. From the front, straight to the back, we attacked every lap. Don't blink, don't sleep, we'll be back in your feed. With the throttle wide open and a need for speed. Saw the drama, the thrill, the slide jobs and spins. Legends born in the booth and on tracks we win. Facebook, YouTube, hit subscribe and stay loud. We ain't slowing down, just saving it for the next round. Broadcast signed off, but the fire still burns. Catch us next time, where the story continues at full send. Joe, right rear racing, we out, hold tight, see you next race.